Stop being stupid. It's as simple as that. Harsh, maybe, necessary, absolutely. See, life doesn't care how you feel about the truth. The world doesn't adjust its challenges to fit your comfort zone. You either wake up, wise up, and rise up, or you stay stuck in cycles of frustration, regret, and mediocrity. And too many people are stuck simply because they refuse to face one fact. Some of the decisions they keep making are just plain stupid. Let's be real. You keep hanging around people who drain your energy, stupid. You keep chasing approval from those who never respected you, stupid. You keep procrastinating on your goals, talking about one day, while time passes you by, stupid. You keep playing small, hiding your gifts, while the clock keeps ticking, that's stupid. And listen, stupidity isn't about intelligence. You can be smart and still live stupid. Because stupidity is ignoring the signs, repeating destructive habits, letting fear run your life when greatness is waiting on you. You were built for more, but you can't claim your destiny with a foolish mindset. You can't walk into success carrying the same childish excuses. Growth demands sacrifice. Success demands accountability, and progress, that demands that you stop entertaining the lies that keep you comfortable but broke, empty, or frustrated. I'm talking to the dreamer who keeps delaying, to the leader who keeps doubting, to the talented soul wasting energy in comparison. You've got something inside you so powerful, but if you stay blind to your potential, if you keep playing with distractions, if you keep making the same lazy, sabotaging choices, your story ends in regret. And regret is the heaviest weight you'll ever carry. Wake up. There's a new level calling your name, but stupidity will keep you seated while others pass you by. You don't get blessed by accident, you get blessed by discipline. You get blessed by courage. You get blessed by shaking off small thinking and stepping into uncomfortable growth. You can pray all you want, but if you keep making foolish choices, even God's best for you will stay locked behind the door of your own decisions. Stop being stupid with your time. Stop being stupid with your energy. Stop being stupid with your dreams. There's a version of you that's focused, relentless, disciplined, and bold. That version of you doesn't make excuses. That version of you doesn't tolerate foolishness. That version of you owns their flaws, learns their lessons, and walks with power. You've been warned. You've been called higher. Now it's your choice. Stay stuck or grow up. Stay foolish or wise up. Stay dreaming or start doing. The next chapter of your life starts when you stop being stupid. Repeating destructive habits is one of the fastest ways to sabotage your future. Yet many people stay stuck in this cycle and wonder why life doesn't change. It's easy to blame circumstances, other people, or even bad luck. But the hard truth is most of the pain, frustration, and missed opportunities people face come from their own unwillingness to break the patterns that keep them small. You can't expect growth while feeding the same habits that drain your energy, waste your time, and pull you away from your purpose. The problem with destructive habits is that they often disguise themselves as comfort or coping mechanisms. Staying up all night scrolling through social media feels harmless in the moment, but over time it robs you of energy, productivity, and focus. Constantly putting off your goals with the excuse that you'll start tomorrow might sound reasonable, but it's a lie that keeps your dreams locked away. Hanging around toxic people or environments where negativity thrives might seem familiar, but familiarity is not the same as safety sometimes. It's the very thing that holds you captive. The painful part is that most people no these habits are destructive. Deep down, you recognize the patterns that keep you broke, stuck, or unhappy. But recognizing the problem isn't enough if you refuse to act. That's where stupidity creeps in when you see the damage, but repeat the behavior anyway. It's like touching fire, getting burned, and then reaching back for the flame the next day. At some point, you have to decide that wisdom will lead your life, not emotions, not impulses, and definitely not excuses. Breaking destructive habits isn't easy, but it's necessary. It requires brutal honesty. You have to confront the fact that comfort has made you lazy, fear has made you avoid your potential, distractions have made you delay your purpose. But once you wake up to that reality, you hold the power to change it. It starts with discipline, daily decisions, and being intentional about what you allow into your mind, body, and spirit. You can't control every circumstance, but you can control your choices, and your choices either build your destiny or destroy it. Repeating destructive habits is a slow form of sabotage. It doesn't always ruin you overnight, that's why it feels so harmless. But over weeks, months, and years, it chips away at your confidence, your potential, and your peace. Until one day you look back and wonder where the time went, where the opportunities went, where your drive went. But the good news is, the moment you choose to stop repeating the cycles, you rewrite the story. Change doesn't happen by chance, it happens by decision, and the decision to break destructive habits is the first step toward becoming everything you were born to be. Seeking validation from the wrong people is one of the most dangerous traps you can fall into. Yet so many people live their entire lives chasing approval from those who never had their best interests at heart. You see it everywhere: talented, capable individuals holding themselves back just to fit into circles that were never designed to help them grow. It's a subtle form of self-betrayal, constantly watering down your greatness for the comfort of being accepted by people who don't even recognize your true worth. The harsh reality is, not everyone is meant to see your value. Not everyone is equipped to understand your dreams, your goals, or your potential. But if you tie your confidence to their opinions, you're handing over control of your destiny to the wrong hands. That's the mistake most people make. They give weight to the opinions of people who aren't even qualified to speak on their life. Friends who secretly envy your ambition, family members stuck in fear, co-workers who never dared to dream beyond average, and yet, these are the voices that influence your decisions, your self-image, your next move. When you seek validation from people who operate in insecurity, fear, or small thinking, you invite limitations into your life. You start questioning your gifts. You start shrinking your ideas. You start lowering your standards just to keep peace with people who were never meant to walk your journey with you. And here's the dangerous part. They might not even be trying to hurt you intentionally, but their mindset is limited, and limited people project limitations onto others. Chasing their approval becomes a cycle of frustration because no matter what you do, it's never enough. You sacrifice your authenticity, your peace, your ambition, and still feel unseen or misunderstood. That's because true validation doesn't come from external applause, it comes from within. The most successful, fulfilled people didn't wait for the world to co-sign their vision. They believed when no one else did. They moved when others doubted. They kept showing up for themselves even when they stood alone. If you want to rise, you have to stop seeking permission to be great. Stop explaining your purpose to people committed to misunderstanding you. Stop trying to shrink your dreams to fit in rooms that can't contain your vision. Your validation has to be internal, built on your faith, your hard work, your resilience. Once you own your worth, the right people will recognize it, but you won't be desperate for their approval. You'll know who you are, and that's the only validation that truly matters. Procrastination kills destiny, yet it disguises itself so cleverly that many people fall victim to it without even realizing the damage being done. We tell ourselves we'll start tomorrow. We convince ourselves that someday is guaranteed. We believe that when the timing is perfect or when we feel more motivated, then we'll take action. But what we fail to understand is that destiny doesn't wait for convenience. Opportunity doesn't wait for perfect timing. The world doesn't pause until you finally feel ready. Every day you delay, every goal you put off, every dream you shelve for another season, you are sacrificing pieces of your potential without even noticing it. Procrastination is more than just a bad habit. It's a mindset rooted in fear, doubt, and comfort. It whispers that you have more time, that it's okay to wait, that conditions aren't ideal. But life rarely presents ideal conditions. The people who achieve success are the ones who move despite uncertainty, who act even when they're scared, and who show up daily with consistency, not just excitement. Waiting for motivation is a trap because motivation is fleeting, discipline is what builds legacies. Think about the hours, days, and even years lost to procrastination. How many ideas have you buried because you hesitated? How many doors closed because you weren't prepared? How many moments of growth passed you by because you were too busy waiting for a better time? That time never arrives. The illusion of more time is one of the most dangerous lies we tell ourselves. The hard truth is, procrastination is rooted in the belief that you can afford to waste today, but no one is promised tomorrow. Life moves with or without your participation. Every second spent in hesitation is a second stolen from your progress. The people who rise to greatness aren't the ones with the most talent or resources, they're the ones who refuse to wait. They execute while others hesitate. They plant seeds while others are still making excuses. And eventually, they harvest results while the procrastinators are still dreaming about starting. It's easy to stay stuck in planning mode, convincing yourself you're being productive when in reality, you're just avoiding action. Dreams stay dreams until action breathes life into them. You can strategize, visualize, and fantasize all you want, but nothing shifts until you move. And every moment you procrastinate, you're robbing your future self of progress, success, and fulfillment. The difference between average and extraordinary is not intention, it's execution. Everyone wants success. Few are willing to discipline themselves to act now, not later. If you want to claim your destiny, you have to stop playing with time, stop negotiating with your fears, and stop lying to yourself about someday. The time is now, it always has been. Playing small is a choice, not a circumstance. Many people walk around believing they are limited by their environment, their upbringing, their education, or their background. But the truth is, what holds most people back isn't external, it's internal. It's not the world telling you to shrink. It's your own doubts, fears, and insecurities convincing you to stay small. Playing small feels safe. It feels comfortable. You avoid criticism. You avoid failure. You avoid the discomfort of stretching beyond your current capacity. But that comfort zone is a trap, and staying in it is a decision you make daily. There's a dangerous illusion that playing small somehow protects you. You convince yourself that if you don't step out, you won't get hurt. If you don't take risks, you won't fail. If you don't fully show up, people won't reject you. But what people don't realize is that playing small comes with its own kind of pain, the pain of regret, the pain of missed opportunities, the pain of knowing deep down that you are capable of more but too afraid to claim it. Every time you choose to downplay your skills, hide your voice, or silence your ambition to make others comfortable, you are denying your own greatness. You are postponing your potential. You were not born to fit in, you were born to stand out, to impact, to lead, to shine. But shining requires courage. It means stepping into rooms where you might feel unqualified. It means taking action when you're uncertain. It means believing in yourself when no one else does. The people who create real change, the ones who influence the world, the ones who live with fulfillment, they don't play small. They refuse to lower their standards to make others feel comfortable. They refuse to settle for average when extraordinary is within reach. And they understand that growth, success, and purpose come with discomfort, criticism, and resistance, but they pursue it anyway. What's stopping you isn't a lack of resources, talent, or opportunity. It's the decision to stay hidden. It's the false belief that staying small protects you from failure, but in reality, it protects you from nothing. The world keeps moving, opportunities pass, time doesn't wait. And while you play small, someone else steps into the role you were designed for, lives the life you dream of, and reaps the rewards you left on the table. Playing small is not humility, it's fear disguised as wisdom. It's insecurity dressed up as caution. The moment you realize that, everything changes. You can either keep shrinking yourself to fit the room or grow so boldly that you expand the room itself. Your potential is massive, but only if you stop choosing smallness and start stepping into the greatness that's already within you. Regret is the price of foolish decisions, and it is often the heaviest burden a person will ever carry. The truth is, most people don't regret what they tried and failed at, they regret what they never had the courage to attempt. They regret the risks they didn't take, the words they didn't speak, the ideas they left buried, and the time they wasted entertaining distractions and fears. You may think playing it safe protects you, but the only thing it truly guarantees is regret. Because one day, whether it's months or years from now, you'll look back and realize how many doors you could have walked through, how much potential you could have tapped into, how much impact you could have made if only you had made wiser decisions. Foolish decisions often feel harmless in the moment. Skipping the workout, delaying the project, ignoring the opportunity, staying in the wrong relationship, these choices feel small, but over time they stack up. And the compounded weight of those choices shows up as regret. You look around and see the life you could have built slipping through your fingers because you traded discipline for comfort, consistency for laziness, and courage for fear. The scary thing is that regret doesn't show up overnight. It creeps in slowly, disguised as what if, questions, and quiet dissatisfaction until one day the noise of wasted potential becomes unbearable. Regret is not just emotional, it's mental, spiritual, and physical. It steals your peace of mind, eats away at your confidence, and makes you question your worth. It lingers in your heart, reminding you of the dreams you buried and the greatness you ignored. And the worst part is, regret comes when it's too late to fix what's been lost. Time doesn't rewind. Opportunities don't always repeat themselves. The relationships you sabotage, the talents you neglect, the chances you avoid, they don't sit around waiting for you to finally wake up. The foolish decision to delay, to stay stuck, to avoid discomfort, to ignore your instincts, all of that adds up. And the more you entertain foolishness, the more regret becomes your story. You weren't born to live in regret, but the only way to avoid it is by taking ownership of your choices right now. Every moment you spend hesitating or making the same mistakes is another moment you're writing regret into your future. The good news is you don't have to live that way. You can't change the past, but you can stop adding to the list of regrets. It starts with facing your foolish patterns, breaking destructive cycles, and refusing to trade your potential for temporary comfort. Regret is expensive, but wisdom is free. The decision is yours every single day. Growth requires accountability, not excuses. Yet, excuses have become a comfortable blanket for people who are afraid to face the reality of their own choices. It's easy to blame circumstances, timing, upbringing, lack of support, or even fate for where you are in life. But as long as you keep hiding behind excuses, you'll stay stuck exactly where you are. Growth doesn't happen by accident. It doesn't magically show up just because you wish for it or talk about it. It happens when you take full responsibility for your actions, your mindset, your habits, and your progress. Excuses feel good in the moment because they remove responsibility from your shoulders. You can tell yourself the reason you're not successful is because of the economy, because of your boss, because of your parents, because of your past, but deep down, you know the truth. The biggest obstacle is rarely what's happening around you. It's what's happening within you. Accountability forces you to look in the mirror and accept that your results, your success, your failures, they are all connected to your daily decisions. People love to talk about growth. They love to read about success, listen to motivational speeches, dream big, and post inspiring quotes. But when it comes time to do the work, the hard, uncomfortable, disciplined work, that's where most people check out. Instead of facing their weaknesses, they make excuses for them. Instead of learning from failure, they hide from it. Instead of adjusting their habits, they defend them. But growth doesn't care about your excuses. Growth is earned through action, not intention. Accountability is the foundation of transformation. It means you stop waiting for someone to rescue you. You stop hoping your situation magically improves. You stop blaming everything and everyone for your lack of progress. You wake up, take inventory of your life, and start making intentional, uncomfortable changes. Whether it's your health, your finances, your relationships, or your mindset growth, demands that you stop lying to yourself and start doing the work. It's not easy. Accountability requires humility. You have to admit your mistakes. You have to own your procrastination, your distractions, your bad habits, and your laziness. But once you do, you take back your power. Excuses keep you weak, stuck, and dependent. Accountability makes you strong, focused, and unstoppable. If you want to truly grow, you can't keep recycling the same excuses. You can't keep telling yourself stories that justify staying average. You can't blame your past when your future is still unwritten. Growth belongs to the disciplined, the self-aware, and the courageous. The question is simple. Will you keep making excuses, or will you step up, own your flaws, and commit to becoming the version of yourself that your destiny is waiting on.